That's a wonderful suit. Don't tell me, let me guess. Valentino Couture.
Uh-huh.
Looks so soft.
Your compliment was sufficient, Louis.
Hello, welcome to Film Fashion Critique, or Cinema Style Critique. I haven't figured it out yet. Comment down below which one you like more, where I analyze outfits in film and give my 2 cents on it. If you don't know me already, my name is Demetrios. I am a sartorialist, and I help people find their own personal style. I talk a lot about tailoring and craftsmanship, but also the history of menswear and the philosophy behind it. And I'm also a filmmaker, so put these 2 things together and you got me hooked, man. So today I'm gonna analyze the outfits from American Psycho, and I'm specifically going to actually look at only the main characters in one scene, the infamous business card scene. And if you've never seen anime, this scene here is legit anime in live action form. I kid you not. It is done exactly like anime's done. It's crazy. So I love it even more. To give a little bit of context, this film takes place in the 1980s, right? Bankers, okay? So that Wall Street yuppie culture.
You're fired. You're hired. You're fired.
Gordon Gekko kind of stuff, right? So obviously their clothing reflects that certain culture, which is obviously not my gig, as you can tell. But not only in this am I going to give my own personal advice as to how I would change up these outfits, but really what we're truly going to focus on is to see how well their outfits reflect their personality. Because like I always say, outfits in one way or another, how we dress does indeed reflect our personality. And it's even more so in film, because everything in film is intentional, whether it's set deck or costume design or camera angles. Everything is intentional to further the story and to bring more depth to the characters. So we're gonna see if the costume designers actually dress them with intention, because this film is all full of subtle little details. So let's just see if they actually got that right in the costume department.
Patrick, thanks so much for looking after Courtney. Dorcia, how impressive. How on earth did you get a reservation there?
Lucky, I guess.
That's a wonderful suit. Don't tell me, let me guess. Valentino Couture.
Uh-huh.
Looks so soft.
Your compliment was sufficient, Louis.
So Valentino suits are from Valentino Garavani. He's this old, really creepy looking, no offense, Italian fashion designer, right? Very high-end stuff. And Valentino does indeed make suits, and they do indeed do couture. Couture is couture, and it's French, and it means dressmaking or sewing. Basically making an entire outfit by hand for a specific client. They're usually using really rare or unique fabrics, right? Incredible detail. Price isn't really a thing with this because it's, you know, it's super expensive. It's the most elite you can get pretty much. Now, I mostly see this with women's wear. I rarely see this in menswear. Not sure why they're using that, but you know, maybe bespoke could be more accurate, a handmade bespoke suit. But he uses couture. Valentino's already expensive. Couture, oh my gosh. Big amount of flexing we'll see with Bateman. Even though you don't see it in the scene, also Bateman wears a Rolex. He wears a two-toned 36mm Rolex Datejust, reference number 16013, and he has a Jubilee bracelet and a tapestry dial. I did not memorize that. Two-tone watches were apparently big in the 80s, and it makes sense. And Rolex, I mean, I love Rolexes. I would love to own one day, but a big part of Rolex, no one can deny, is that it is a status symbol. Status symbols aren't inherently bad at all, but definitely it is something that a kind of narcissistic guy like Bateman would have, because the whole thing with Bateman is he's a psychopath.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
He doesn't feel any emotion, and he tries to mimic people, right? What people are like, and he wants to look and appear as the very best. So having a Valentino suit, having a Rolex, especially a very popular one, the 80s, a more trendy model, definitely makes sense. He's actually wearing your typical power suit, right? Which a pinstripe navy suit. That's pretty much banker right there. It's got notch lapels and it's single-breasted. Me personally, obviously with my style, I go for peak lapels. It definitely has a more authoritative look to it, right?
Hello, Halberstram.
Nice tie.
Okay, to be honest, I don't even give a crap for that tie. It's just, it's kind of boring, to be honest. I mean, look at it. Nothing special, nothing bad, but it's not great. But you know what? Knowing Paul Allen, this character, yeah, definitely that was a subtle way of humiliation, I guess, because, yeah, there's nothing nice about that tie. Now, I've noticed, though, the colors are decent. You know, he's got a navy suit, business blue shirt, and a yellow tie. Very contrasting, two primary colors. Not bad. I did the exact same color palette for my film premiere, but I totally overdid it with the saturation. It was when I was starting out. Forgive me. Blech.
How the hell are you?
Now, this suit, all right, it's not the biggest power suit, right? It's not classic pinstripe navy, but it is gray, which is definitely a color in suits which makes you look older, more mature, and it's double-breasted, which is even more of a power move in my opinion. Double-breasted is much more of a kind of boss, authoritative, elegant look. He's wearing a contrasting collar shirt with what looks like purple stripes. It's very Wall Street 1980s. Actually thought of doing this outfit for this video, but it's definitely not my style, but I do have that kind of shirt. His tie is definitely a power tie because it's red, which is a color of power and authority and aggression, right? Very authoritative. Quiet. Anyway, definitely an authoritative color. And because his outfit's mainly colorless, that tie really stands out. So that red is really punching in here, which is a very smart thing. And we can even see this kind of power dynamic going on, even with the angle, because this camera's at a superior angle. We're looking up at him. He's looking down at Bateman, right? So all this definitely screams, I got the power.
Alan has mistaken me for this dickhead Marcus Halberstram. It seems logical because Marcus also works at P&P and in fact does the same exact thing I do. He also has a penchant for Valentino suits and Oliver Peoples glasses. Marcus and I even go to the same barber, although I have a slightly better haircut.
Okay, so Marcus obviously is pretty much like Bateman. These guys are all copies of each other, right? So Valentino suits and Oliver Peoples glasses. So Oliver Peoples glasses are a luxury eyewear brand. They're all wearing even not only the exact same brand, but the exact same frames, which is actually very similar to what I normally wear. These right here, these are for the computer. I have to admit, of all their stuff, I obviously dig this style the most of what they've got going on. And so yeah, Valentino suits, and he's also wearing a single-breasted, notch-lapelled navy pinstripe Valentino suit. But the difference with Marcus's outfit that's actually really interesting, he's wearing 3 different stripes, which is actually pretty hard to pull off. And the key to pulling it off is having them contrast the most. If they're too close together in width or like size, then you know your eye gets really confused and it's too much, right? So you really want to make sure you have enough contrast between the sizes and the spaces of the stripes so that you know which piece is which more easily. It doesn't distract you. Something about this is throwing me off a little bit, and I don't know if you can tell or not. Can you tell? Okay, I'll tell you. If we look close, the shirt actually has 2-tone stripes, right? What looks like a dark blue stripe and almost like a beige stripe, a very light stripe. Even though they're very close together, the stripes, my eye first sees only the dark stripes. And if you're only counting for those dark stripes, they're about as spaced apart as the pinstripes on the suit. So now it looks too close to the suit jacket. If it was a single tone, just like a white shirt with dark stripes or just light stripes, then I think it would work better. So even though this technically works on a technical level, to my eyes, it's just a little too much with this shirt.
There are definite do's and don'ts, good buddy, of wearing a bold striped shirt. A bold striped shirt calls for solid colored or discreetly patterned suits and ties.
But it's so subtle that I still think, even though Bateman says he has a slightly better haircut, I think Marcus has a slightly better outfit. But that's just me.
So how's the ransom account going, Marcus?
It's all right.
Really? That's interesting. It's not great.
Oh, well, you know.
So how's Cecilia?
Okay, I just want to say I really actually dig Paul Allen's tie. And see, even Paul Allen looks like he's got some Oliver Peoples glasses. Actually, I think I looked it up, and I think everyone in the scene has Oliver Peoples glasses. But again, it's a luxury brand, and all these guys are trying to top each other, right? So again, it makes sense. They were the hype beasts of the 80s.
She's a great girl.
Oh, yeah. I'm very lucky.
Hey, Alan. Congratulations on the Fisher account.
So while this outfit is kind of boring, there's some things we can glean from it. He does have pinstripes again, business. He does have that contrasting collar, which is very business-like, blue, with a blue tie. And actually, he's wearing a pocket square, presidential fold. He's one of the few guys in this entire scene that wears a pocket square, right? In a very professional fold, right? Just plain presidential fold. But the one stylish thing that he's got going on is the pin collar. It's got the pin in it, which lifts the tie up a little bit, and that's a style thing, right? It's just nice. It's a little elegant look, and you know, you can make them silver, you know, gold, rose gold, whatever you want. Not bad.
Listen, Paul, squash.
Call me.
Okay, so Bryce's outfit. Now, in my opinion, he's got the worst outfit of the entire group. His lapels, the gorge is really low. And the gorge, if you don't know, so this is the lapel, obviously it's right here. So if it was up here, it'd be high. If it was down here, it'd be low, right? His just, I don't know. And the shape of the lapels, the notch, makes it look droopy, right? Even though his shoulders are pretty broad because it's an 80s suit, it's still, the shape of the lapels cancels that out to me, so he still looks very kind of droopy, so it's a bad suit. The tie's okay, but that shirt, hate it, hate it, hate it. And I'll tell you why. I personally, just for some reason, I am not a fan of square pattern shirts like this. I have no idea why. I think it's because it reminds me of just hashtag menswear and just business. It's just, not my thing. Totally fine.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with these kind of shirts. Just for me, I just can't stand them already. But the real killer here, the real sin is the collar. It's too small. Your collar points, unless it's like a pin collar or one of those crazy narrow collars from like Goodfellas or whatever, the tips of your collar should actually go inside the lapel. Even if it was buttoned up, it should be tucked in like that. And normally these are little things that really don't matter, but since these guys are always trying to one-up each other, you think they'd pay attention to that. Now, personally, if I was going for this look, right, I obviously ditch that pattern. I'd have a better collar, more widespread collar on that shirt. The tie's okay. I might do a red medallion tie. And the jacket, I'd get a nice flannel bespoke jacket. If I worked here and I was vice president like all these guys are, you'd be able to, I think. Kind of like this, like phenomenal. That is a great single-breasted notch lapel suit. That's what I do, personally.
What, Friday?
No can do. I got an 8:30 res at Dorsia. Great sea urchin ceviche.
Okay, I'm just gonna say right here, this random guy I think is the best dressed in this entire scene or movie. Just this one random guy. I don't think he shows up ever again, but he does. He's got a double-breasted suit on, just like Paul Allen's, but the fit is so much better. With double-breasted, you really need to pay attention to tailoring just because it can easily look way too boxy, and I know a more boxy look was popular in the 1980s, and it's getting popular now, all this oversized garbage. Even the shape of the lapels is a little nicer. It's got a little bit more of a curve to it. And even though he does have the bottom button, normally that's a no-go on single-breasted, but on double-breasted, it's valid because the shape of it, it doesn't distort like it would on a single-breasted suit. And he looks like he's wearing a really nice collar too. Shoot, man, yeah, this gets better and better the more I look at it. The only thing missing is a pocket square, man. No one's rocking the pocket square.
Doors on Friday night. How do you swing that?
I think he's lying.
Okay, now that I see a close-up of Patrick's tie, I'm starting to like it a little more. That was
Should I grab?
New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
Picked them up from the printers yesterday.
Good coloring.
That's bone. And the lettering is something called Cillian Braille.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice.
Eggshell with Romalian type.
Okay, so Van Patten's outfit, just like Marcus, which when I first saw this film, I got the two confused. I thought this guy was Marcus for some stupid reason. I wasn't paying attention. But he's wearing almost the same outfit as Marcus, as in he's also wearing 3 stripes, right? And also what looks like Oliver People's glasses. I actually think I like these rims the best. The shine grabs your attention and brings your eyes to his, right? So that's the great thing about having good frames. It can really help you focus on the person's eyes, which is when you're talking to someone where you want to be focusing. But don't stare like a creep, right? But this outfit, I'd say, is even better than Marcus's. And because he fixed the shirt problem. This is, I mean, a real micro stripe on the shirt. Very, very small stripes, very widespread stripes on his tie. That's totally fine. I wouldn't change a thing personally. His collar, though. Nah. Hair's okay. Hair's all right. Just, again, typical yuppie. Not my thing. But if you were a yuppie, right, or you do work at a bank, this is totally fine.
What do you think?
Nice. Jesus. That is really super. How'd a nitwit like you get so tasteful?
I can't believe that Bryce prefers Van Patten's card to mine.
But wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. Raised lettering. Pale nimbus. White.
Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Really quick right here, I can't tell what Bryce's watch is, but again, looks like a Rolex, like a Datejust or something, and it's got a Jubilee bracelet. Comment down below and let me know which watch Bryce is rocking if you know it. Hello. I just love how Van Patten after see Paul Allen's card. He looks like a little kid putting his Pokemon card away in shame. It's great. But also, another great thing about Van Patten is even though he's not wearing a pocket square, he's rocking the pen right there in his breast pocket, which is functional. Could be a Mont Blanc pen, I don't know, but that would make sense for these dudes. But yeah, again, I can't tell.
Subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
Something wrong? Patrick? You're sweating.
Okay, now we come to the final character, which I saved for last on purpose. Lewis. And if you know the movie, Lewis is totally different than the rest of the guys. He really doesn't fit into the culture, and they definitely show that by his outfit. He wears a gray 3-piece suit with softer shoulders than the other guys and a Glen plaid pattern. Even though everyone else's, if they do have a pattern on their suit, it's pinstripes, he's wearing Glen plaid. And his suit kind of gives you the vibe of English countryside style, which I actually like. It's more relaxed with the Glen plaid and the softer shoulders, right? Which I know isn't that British, but it definitely goes with his personality, right? He's a softer dude, so his shoulders are softer. It's one of the few people wearing a pocket square and not in a presidential fold and a color one, showing his kind of creativity, right? He wears also a bow tie instead of a necktie like the other dudes. He sticks out immediately with the other guys. So yeah, it looks like their style really does reflect a lot of their personality, and we see this even more so in a different scene when Bateman and Paul Allen go out to dinner. In this scene, Paul Allen's wearing a light blue shirt and a yellow tie, and then Bateman is wearing the red tie, and this time a double-breasted suit, but his double-breasted suit is navy pinstripe, and that is the ultimate power suit. Navy pinstripe double-breasted, man, especially with the red tie. And it really shows how the roles are reversed, because obviously when they're wearing those outfits, this is where the spoiler comes in. I'll give you a spoiler, 3, 2, 1. Bateman kills Paul Allen. So it really shows how the power dynamic reverses, right? It's also, this movie, I think, is a great commentary on the monotony of business suits and that culture, and how they go nuts over the tiniest of details, like with the cards. And don't get me wrong, I love the small details myself, and little details do make a difference, but sometimes you can go way too far with it, and they try to justify themselves and their individuality with these tiniest of details, and they just end up looking ridiculous. Like with the cards. I mean, they're, you know, the cards all look the same to most people, but to them it's like, oh, well, I have, you know, eggshell or pale nimbus or bone for white, right? So it definitely, people do that in the kind of sartorial sphere with outfits, and it can get really cringy really fast. So yeah, good job whoever did the outfits for this film. Wait, you know what? Let me look that up. The costume designer for this is Isis Musenden. Phenomenal job, ma'am. You did a great job. Yeah, shoot, that was fun. Hey guys, comment down below and let me know which movies you'd like to see analyzed next. I got a few myself, but I want to know what you guys would like to see. And with that being said, I'll see you guys all very soon. Adio. Okay, why am I sweating and why did I lose my voice all of a sudden? Good grief, man.